Traders, Brian here, founder of A Plus Setups. Welcome to another video. I wanted to take a few moments and talk to you about some of the tools that we have inside our room, some of the things I've developed over the last 15 years to help me build strategies to pick tops and bottoms in any market and any time frame. So it's February 16th, 2026, and as I alluded to earlier, what I'm going to show you now is the same thing I've been using for almost 15 years. And, I tend to stick with things that work, and this is definitely something that I look at every single day. So let's go right into it. Here's a disclaimer. Just be advised, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say or do in here is a recommendation to buy or sell any security. You can lose a lot of money trading, so just be cognizant of that. All right, first thing before we jump into some charts is I just wanted to pitch the concept here, the concept of tops and bottoms. Once I put top and bottom style trading into context, it changed everything for me. And what I mean by that is I put it into multi-time frame context. And once I did that, these tools that I have here became very, very useful. And like I said, I've been using these for a very long time. So we're going to talk about, let me see if I can get my laser pointer here. All right, this is the bottom picker with the CentreLine method. Now the CentreLine method is this toolkit where we have a center line, which is this red line. It's in a downtrend, and over here it's in an uptrend. Okay, that's a center line. Now the higher time frame center line is the cloud. Over here it's the green cloud. The lower time frame center line is this thin dash line. Now these triangles are hand drawn to show you where the key trade locations are in both of these trends. Another set of tools I use to help me with this is the double stochastics. This is a neat version built by someone who I'm not familiar with, but you have access to the double stochastics in NinjaTrader 8. It's the same thing. This one just has some colors on it, that's all. Here's the tool. This is the bottom picker element. It's that gray horizontal bar with the lime green alerts on it. That's the bottom picking tool. And then I have this line here is cumulative delta on both charts. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a tick chart for this example to explain the concept. It's a 333 tick chart with a 999 tick higher time frame center line and a 100 tick lower time frame center line. Now our toolkit comes with all of these things. One thing I forgot to mention was the GHL color bars. The GHL color bars is something that I have used to isolate higher lows, lower highs for a decade plus. And that's really what this trend context and bottom and top picking tool is all about. I firmly believe all of my trades are based around higher lows, lower highs in every time frame I trade, from weekly, daily, hourly, and down to the scalping. So within this time frame here, what we have is just very quickly, you're trying to, let me put it this way, I'm trying to identify good trade location to take my shot. That's it. Give me a repeatable pattern that I've seen tens of thousands of times before, more than that actually, and let me have a shot at putting my trade on there. So what we're trying to do here in the bearish side is identify an area where the market has rallied into the bear trend, where we can put on a short trade and try to catch a lower prices. And on the bullish side, we're trying to wait for a pullback into the bull trend and get to some form of exhaustion point, and then identify trade locations so that we can participate. Now I'm going to start with the bottom picking component first. The bottom picking over here on the right is this panel, the horizontal line with the lime green. The bottom picker indicator is it's a series of lines that converge when markets are overstretched. It's not Bollinger Bands, none of that. And the signal emerges on this horizontal bar. It just simply tells us, hey, this is potentially a good trade location for you to take a shot on the long side. So what we wait for on the bullish trade is we wait for the higher time frame CentreLine turned bullish. It did. It's bullish. We wait for the triple stack, and that's short above centerline above higher time frame. Get the centerline stack. We wait for the double stochastics to print below its threshold, like it's doing here. It's the other end of it extreme. And then we're looking for the bottom picker to tell us that this is a potential bullish trade location area. And then it's up to us to put the trade on, somewhere in this cluster. We get the trade on. Now, this is perfect right here in this trend. And again, this is the NASDAQ. You may not think this is much right here. That's probably 40 plus handles right there, a minimum of 40 handles. And same over here. So we're just waiting. We've got the bull trend. We got the triple stack. The GHL color bars turn red during a bullish pullback, telling us we're in a pullback mode. And then we're just looking for trade location. You can wait for the bars, GHL color bars, to turn green. You can take, put buy stops in above. There's several ways you can skin the cat to get in these. I'm just trying to talk to you about trade location now. All right, so this plays out in every time frame, every type of chart that you can think of. I'm going to show you chart examples in a few. Now here's the bearish trades. Now this bar doesn't mean anything in a bearish trade, okay? The bottom picking component of this is spot on. We don't really have I haven't used the top. There is a top picking component to this. I haven't used it as extensively as I have the bottom picker. I've used it, like I said, for over a decade, 13 to 15 years. But the top picking component, I haven't used that much. But what works really good to identify tops and downtrends is, again, we wait for the higher time frame center line to turn bearish. We wait for the triple stack bear that's fast below center line below higher. We wait for the green GHL color bars to tell us that there's a pullback underway. We wait for double stochastics to get above its threshold. And in this instant here, what's different about top picking in bearish mode is we need cumulative delta momentum confirmation. That means we don't want to see cumulative delta buckle and turn green during this pullback. And here's two textbook examples here. So that's the concept. Now let's just take a look at some charts. All right, no specific order. This is NQ. We're using 3-minute Heikin Ashi bars. So here, let's just we're going to go through these fast because it's a really simple system. We've got the GHL color bars over the Heikin Ashi bars. Red pullback into threshold. Stochastics is telling us it's ready. And look, there's the bottom picker right there telling us potential trade location. If you miss that, it rolls up, comes back down. Red bars telling us to get ready. Stochastics below the threshold, and there's the bottom picker telling us good trade location. Again, it's up to you to figure out how to skin the cat on entries. That's not what we're talking about here. All right, Then we flip right over into a bearish scenario. And just so you know, I'm not cherry picking. This is last night and today's activity. This is President's Day. So here early this morning, we had switched bearish. We get green pullback bars, stochastics up above this, and we flip to red right there at the same time. You get the first red bar in the red here, and down she goes. Again, bearish. We don't look at the bottom picker. All right, so that's a beautiful trade there. And honestly, I only take action around the first and second pullbacks in any of these legs. Here's a trade I actually took this morning. Big move down. I didn't take any of that going down. Actually, I did up here in this trash, and I got 2 winning trades off of this, but missed this completely. Pull back into that area there, and I got short over on this. Green pullback bars, stochastics where it's supposed to be. Cumulative delta didn't buckle, and this was a monstrous pullback to the upside, and cumulative delta did not buckle. And I got short somewhere around here. Took one off right in this area, took another one off on this little bounce back up, got shaken out of a really good trade, left a lot on the table. I mean, it took me out to the tick right here on that second contract before it went on down. So, but that turned out to be a really nice trade. So that's that chart. Let's take a look. What's on? Okay, so this is NVIDIA. Let's bump the bar size up a little bit. Pump up the volume. All right. So again, this is Friday's action, and what do we have? A 333 tick NVIDIA chart. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. I am baking in multi-time frame tools here. This bottom picker is based on a lower time frame, and I'm going to show you why this is important in just a little bit. But right now, it's just a perfect visual. Bullish trend up. We come back. We're below the threshold. Bottom picker says potential good trade location. And you got this whole cluster here to figure out where to enter for a really nice trade back up. You know, a max 50 cents, you wouldn't have taken that whole 50-cent move right there. But, you know, in stock trade, that's a really good move. Now, you can come back here, and here's first entry. We get the first cross again while we're bearish. Stochastics is telling you it pinged it right there. So this is entry for a short. And, you know, your stop shouldn't be a tick above this. But, you know, that's your trade plan. Not your trade plan doesn't have to match mine. And then a nice move down. So let's see what else we have here. Here was another one. Nice bullish first stochastics in the area. Bottom picker. Now, this bottom picker signal, it does not repaint. Okay. It does absolutely does not repaint. It flashes, it tells you when it's ready, and it doesn't change. And then get an entry right there. That was a quick move up, but you know, you could have taken partial profit and hopefully breaking even on, you know, runners. Here we have some bullish, and again, this is I think this is Thursday's action here. First bottom picker here. You don't get much. You know, I would have probably broken even on the whole lot there, but this was a beautiful setup here. Bottom picker, stochastics, and you should have been able to do pretty good with that entry there. Good trade location. Let's take a look at some different charts. Again, just to show you that. All right, here's gold. This is today's action. Let's just take a look at this. What do we have here? First pullback. It's the same pattern. Bearish, fast below centerline below higher, green pullback into a red down close. Stochastics where it's supposed to be, and cumulative delta did not buckle. Nice short entry there. Okay. Here are 2 potential entries on gold. And again, these are not cherry picked. They're just today's action. Okay. So bullish trend here. You should be able to see the bullish trends. I mean, it doesn't take but like 3 milliseconds of eyeballing to let you know if you're bullish or bearish. And stochastics below threshold, bottom picker says potential trade location. If you miss that, one other opportunity, perfect setup. These patterns repeat time and time and time again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's gold. Let's see what else we have here. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Well, we looked at the Heiken Ashi. You know, I showed you this is where I got in today on the Heiken Ashi charts. But let's just take a look at, this was Friday, going into the close. Here was a bullish setup here. Bottom picker says potential trade location. And there you go. This is one here that the cloud caught. You know, I don't usually, I give these plenty of room to enter, and I would have entered a little bit late right there just to try to confirm that. But that was a really nice bottom picker entry there. But this one was more with the trend. And what I like to enter, when I like to enter, is when the bullish trades, when this actual center line for this chart stays green as well. Now, you'll notice here on the bullish trades, I don't really, I'm not really focused on the cumulative delta. But you can see in this trade, cumulative delta is here at the bottom of the screen. It was green. I'm relying on bottom picker for bullish trades. I'm relying on cumulative delta as the filter for short trades. First short trade right now of this trend. You know, we get the triple stack, fast under center line under higher time frame. Green pullback bars, first red, stochastics where it's supposed to be, and there is cumulative delta on the bottom, that little, let me see if I can open this up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Cumulative delta is rocking it, okay? So it's telling you it's okay to take that short. It's just a really good tool set. All right, so that's NASDAQ. Let's see, we looked at gold, we looked at NASDAQ, we looked at a couple different time frames there. Let me just show you on stocks how it works as well. Different higher time frames. Again, this works on everything. All right, we're up on Google right now. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, let's look at this right here. So daily time frame on Google, 4 hour, 1 hour. Now, don't get confused with the different lines and everything. I'm going to walk you through this. Green uptrend, red pullback bars. It's the same pattern on every single chart in every single time frame. Red pullback bars, we look to the next lower time frame. There's no bottom picker there. There is on the time frame below that. So most of the stocks, the majority of time, I have to go down 2 time frames. That's why I have 3 charts up. I'm always trading 3 time frames on stocks when I do this. But there was the entry right there. You know, I would have been in on this cluster here and wrote. I would not have entered there. I wait and see the green bars kick back in on the bullish side, and then I get in on the 60-minute chart. I'm sorry, I don't know what I said earlier, but that's a 60-minute chart, 4 hour daily. Okay, so that's Google. Let's take a look at, I'm looking to get short here on AVGO. Yeah, so I kind of missed the boat, but look at this, red. Okay, so we're going to look at this first example here. It's the first pullback where we get nice and green. You actually have this pullback here too that meets all the criteria. This pullback here is definitely good to go. Again, we're just looking, we do use the same things. It's confirmation. The only thing we don't use on higher time frames is cumulative delta. But there's this stochastics telling us, there's the red. to get in for, a short trade on AVGO. So it works the same way. But bottom picking, everybody loves NVIDIA on the higher. This is just a bunch of garbage, but here's a really nice trade right there. Bullish uptrend, red pullback bars. Let's look. There is no bottom picker on the 4, but if we go down to the 1 hour, there's our bottom picker signals, okay? And this is a beautiful one. I love these double bottom. I usually add into these trades. And again, I'm entering on these green bars when it flips from red to green. All right, we'll look at one other. Let's look at Tesla. Okay, here is, it's the same pattern every chart, okay, for the bearish and bullish. And our software has multi-time frame applications. So, you're plotting multiple time frames. CentreLine is higher time frame CentreLine for the chart. So this CentreLine here is the daily. This CentreLine here is the 4 hour. And, there's your put entries right there. All right, so let's just look at a bullish example here on Tesla, just again, so you have it in your mind. Bullish, red pullback, no 4 hour. We go down to the 1 hour, and there's the bottom picker, and off she goes. Okay, that's it. There's nothing more to this. It plays out in every single time frame, and you can isolate high potential tops and bottoms. If you put these things in context of the overall trend, that's the best way to do it. If you go in and try to use these bottom picking tools on a single time frame, you're probably going to get slaughtered. You have to put some context around these things to make it work, but I think you can see it's a pretty valuable tool. I have used it I say every day, but definitely every week for the last 13 to 15 years in my options and swing trading. Do I take a trade every day? No, I don't. But I'm always doing visual scans on my stocks doing this. And we're starting to incorporate this more into our intraday scalping models. So we should have some really good scalping models, including this, toward the latter part of the year. And I'm talking about with more bells and whistles integrated. So anyway, if you are interested in getting access to these, we run a Discord room, A+ setups, live trading daily, training sessions 4 times a week. We have, for the price of this subscription, which is like the cost of taking your family out to McDonald's, you can download all of our indicators and trading models. We specialize in primarily NASDAQ futures scalping, but our secondary focus is on swing trading. I trade S&Ps. I'm pairs trading all the time. I'm options trading all the time, but our primary focus in the room is prop firm evals with NQ scalping. Okay, we have templates for Predator X, Markers Plus, 2 very good third-party products. And hey, just the best part here, we have a great community. So that's what you get. Use that's the wrong code right there. That code will not work. I don't know how that got on there. So the real code is 450 alpha 3, 450 A3. And I'll try to do an override of this when I render it. So anyway, that's that. This is how you can get in touch with us. This is where you can join. It's our website. You can email me anytime if you have any questions. Hey, good luck in your trading. Hope to see you in your room. But if not, wish you all the best. Have a good one. It's Brian signing off.